Thank you, Daniel. Most of us are just trying to get through life without looking stupid. For some of us, that's not working out too well. Right, Jason? Laugh of recognition, thank you. My cousin says hello, so hooray for speech therapy. 42.7% of all statistics are made up on the spot. If you tell a joke in the forest and no one laughs, was it a joke? All right. If the UFO hotline limits you to 1 call per day, you might be a redneck. If your dog doubles as your dishwasher, if your Christmas dinner was alive that morning, if you've ever unstopped a sink with a shotgun, if all of your kids' toys came free with hamburgers, I ran 3 miles today. Finally, I said, "Lady, take your purse." I used to think that the brain was the most fascinating part of the body, but then I realized, well, look what's telling me that. If you've ever wondered how gas stations keep their restrooms so clean, you might be a redneck. If you've ever gotten into a fist fight over a Pop-Tart, you might be a redneck. If you've ever been accused of lying through your tooth, thank you, Jason. If you owe the taxidermist more than your annual income, you're a redneck. If you've ever given rat traps as a wedding present, isn't that terrible? If you've ever raised one species of animal as food for another, if your neighbors start a petition over your Christmas lights, you're a redneck. If your standard of living increases when you go camping, if dinner by candlelight is your only option after dark, when I was a kid, I used to pray for a bicycle, but then I realized the Lord doesn't work that way, so I just stole one and asked Him to forgive me. I asked my mother if I was adopted. She said, "Not yet, but we placed an ad." If you have a full set of salad bowls that say Cool Whip on the side, if one of the blankets on your bed says property of U-Haul, if your wife's hairdo has ever been destroyed by a ceiling fan, it's the last time you test drove a car and ended up in a police chase, you're a redneck. I'm writing a book. I've got the page numbers done. My mom said when I was born they threw away the mold, and some of it grew back.
Well done.
Thank you, Citruville. What happens if you get scared half to death twice? So, what's the speed of dark? Thank you, Jason, again. If you've ever cut your grass and found a car? If most of the stuff in your garage doesn't belong to you, you might be a redneck. If your yard gets mistaken for a petting zoo, you might be a redneck. If someone knocks on your front door and your back door rattles. If breakfast is interrupted by someone saying, "Anyone seen my teeth?" You might be a redneck. I had an asthma attack yesterday. 3 asthmatics jumped me. Yeah, I know, I should have heard them hiding. I installed a skylight in my apartment. The people who live above me are furious. I poured spot remover on my dog. He's gone now. If you can burp and say your name at the same time, you might be a redneck. If the centerpiece on your dining room table was done by a taxidermist, you might be a redneck. If your dog had a litter of puppies in the living room and nobody noticed, you might be a redneck. If you've ever carried a fishing pole into SeaWorld, you might be a redneck. If you refer to the 5th grade as the best 6 years of my life, you might be a redneck. Right, Jason?
So long.
Get her done. There was a power outage at a department store yesterday. 20 people were trapped on the escalators. A computer was beating me at chess, but it was no match for me at kickboxing. You never really learn to swear until you learn to drive. Right, Dad? Borrow money from pessimists. They don't expect it back. If you have flowers planted in a bathroom fixture in your front yard, you might be a redneck. If you take a load to the dump and bring back more than you took. If you've ever had to climb a water tower with a bucket of paint to defend your sister's honor. If you can tell your age by the number of rings in the bathtub. Whenever I fill out an application and it says, "In case of emergency, notify," I put "doctor." What in the world is my mother gonna do? These are jokes, people. Do you think when they asked George Washington for his ID, he'd just pull out a quarter? I went to San Francisco. I found someone's heart. Half the people you know are below average. If you've ever used a toilet brush as a back scratcher. If you've ever named a child after a dog. Right, Jason?
You're a naughty Jason.
If renewing your wedding vows was the second biggest mistake of your life. And finally, I heard they're going to start ordaining babies to be high priests. That way they'll sleep through sacrament meeting. Good night.
Let's hear it for Dustin.